Welcome to my world. Come on in. Hello, meet everybody. It's Michelle Marie Tony, and today I'm going to show you something old that's, well, kind of cool. For those of you who never grew up in the 80s, this is going to be a new thing. And if you've been around since the 80s and you were born in the 70s and 60s, you definitely probably know what I'm going to show you. I didn't get it all set up. I had some problems with the with this machine. The problem I had was corrosion, age, and it just was cranky. I finally was able to get it working good enough for this demonstration. I didn't get everything working on it. The sound chip still doesn't work. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. This is a Commodore 64 computer, and you can see this is a 64C. This is a newer version of the 64. My original Commodore 64 bread box, many years ago, had a power supply problem that made it commit double murder. So unfortunately, it didn't. This is all I have left of my original machine. This is my original 1541 floppy drive. Yes, it says it's still working quite beautifully, mind you. This is my data set. This is actually, I bought this just a couple years ago because this is the original. I didn't have one. But I wanted to have one so I can have a variety of different things. This is the standard BMC monitor. This actually was designed for computers like this. So obviously, sorry about the blurry patterns you're seeing on the video. It's just the nature of, there's the fast load cartridge. I showed you this a couple days ago. So yeah, that's the video monitor right there. Besides the fact that the sound doesn't work, everything else does. I don't have any good games to show you, really. Because part of my problem is this old Atari 2600 joystick is got a broken position on it. It does not work in the upward position, despite the fact that I originally put a whole new plug-in on the end of it, and I rewired it. And it still doesn't work on the up. The fire button, right, left, and down were fine. So I think there might be something going wrong with the little clicky thingy in the keyboard assembly. So basically, here's what you got. As I said, this will be your typical Commodore 64 and also Commodore 128 layout would be obviously usually a 1571 instead of a 1541 for the Commodore 128. Like I said, right now the computer is working. I did have to really work hard on it to get a lot of corrosion out, and I checked the capacitors. It works. It's just not working as good as it could be. Some days the computer goes spazzy on me. It hasn't. Right now it's working. That's all I'm saying. So let me show you some of the other things. I didn't get the printer set up yet, but let me back up so I can show you the system more complete here of what you got here. This is a pretty good model, representative of a typical Commodore 64 setup. If you didn't have a monitor, you used a television set instead, but that was how we used to do that. I showed you the other end of this. I want to zoom in on this in particular because I lost the instruction book. I had to find the instruction book for this on the internet. This is a Super G interface. This is the original made by Carco. I know that Super took it over apparently a couple years ago. I'm surprised that no one's ever came up with a variation of this that could do PCL. I think I can come up with an idea for a PCL version if you're really interested in being able to support PCL. By the way, these are my original discs from my days of my this one here happens to be a reprint of a disc I had many years ago. Hold on here. Put this back in sleep here. This box here is kind of not original. This is I mean, the box is original, but the discs inside are not. This is all of my original Commodore 64 software collection. That's right. This is just one of several library boxes of software. I actually got a lot more than that in here. It was kind of funny because originally, what happened was I was living in stores, and I asked my mother to send me my Commodore 64 or my Tandy Color computer stuff, and she sent me all my Commodore 64 discs and books, and I was like, "What am I supposed to do with this? This is the wrong box." I stopped the wall. I didn't know what to do with the thing because it was so obsolete. So I threw it all out, which I hadn't because there was a lot of the original manuals in there. There was the books. There wasn't the actual manuals. Fortunately, some things, I guess, kind of work out in the long run because I found a lot of my original books and manuals and magazines and, oh my god, everything. And I do have them now. Now, so, alright, so, regardless, I got the system up. What am I going to do with it? I don't know yet. To be honest with you, I have not figured this out at all. I originally just set this up because I wanted to make sure it was still working, and it is. And I guess what I could do is talk a little bit about in a video what I used to do with the Commodore 64 when I was a kid. First of all, I was really into just kind of like I do today, kind of creating weird shit. A lot of the stuff that I make is more utilities and programs that help people get things done. So the Commodore 64, this computer here, I actually original brown bread box. I spent a lot of time working on it and creating stuff. Utilities, games, typing in programs from magazines. You can't do that today. Most people don't even have programs and magazines anymore. I mean, you don't even see anybody talk about BASIC back nowadays. So this is really kind of a great starting system for starting out. In fact, one of the things that this happens to be a tape. I had to fix this because the tape had a pressure pad problem. But this happens to be a standard cassette tape on it that has programs. You can buy the standard tapes, the Maxells or whatever, or TDKs, and just standard bias, and you can store programs on tape. And that's kind of great because floppy disks, 5.25-inch discs are really hard to find. You can buy used ones. But I don't know if you necessarily want to, but okay. So anyway, like I said, I would spend many hours as a teenager working on this computer, typing, things. And of course, when I got older, and especially after high school, because I graduated in high school, we were using the Commodore 64, for doing, school papers and things like that. I would be using programs like EasyScript and Magic Desk Type and File. So I would be sitting. The Magic Desk was a problem because I did not have a working floppy drive. So every time I wanted to, the way it worked, instead of filing away page at a time, I had to basically, ready for this? Type a page of text, erase it, type the next page of text, erase that. So every time, in other words, I was using it more like a word processor that could do only one page at a time. Because it was only designed to work with a floppy disk. It would not work with tape cassettes. So I couldn't save my programs to tape. Well, I was able to get a copy of EasyScript. It was only on disk in the United States. I had no way of actually getting a disk. So I didn't have a disk. So finally, as you can see here, a couple years ago, back about 1984, my parents bought me this for Christmas, and this is indeed, yes, my original Commodore 1541 disk drive from 1984, believe it or not. And yes, it still works. Yes, this is the earlier one. And yes, this is not out of alignment at all. This thing is actually in rock steady good shape. By the way, speaking of this computer, I want to talk about the insides of this. I'm not going to take it apart again. I've been taking apart the whole damn thing all day long. I'm just trying to clean out all the guts. The problem with this machine is it's not like the original bread box on the inside. It's completely smaller. It's like comparing ITX form for like the motherboards to ATX motherboards. Okay, it's smaller. It's tighter. It's very few of the chips in this are socketed. Most everything's soldered down. Whereas with my old Commodore 64, everything was in a socket. But the memory, I seem to remember the RAM was the only thing that was soldered in place. The CIA and the VIC and SID and the CPU, ROMs were all in sockets, which has its good things and bad things. Good things is that you could be sure that the machine could be upgraded if someone blows the CIA. But unfortunately, I priced the replacement chips because I did break the pin on the kernel ROM. I was able to fix that using some very fine copper wire and a soldering on that one spot there. It's not a permanent fix because once in a while, I'm sure after a while, corrosion's going to kick in, it's going to tarnish, and it's going to just fail. Okay? But for the time being right now, it's not failing. It's working. So I'm not going to push my luck with this one. I am going to eventually try to find myself another bread box. I did find one. I found quite a few of them, actually. The problem is the prices are about the price of one Cecilio CVN 200 violin, so I'm not going to go there right now. I want to get that violin in April, and that's what I want to do, hell or high water. By the way, for those of you who are interested now, there is a devices now for this, that you can plug this into a standard computer with USB ports as well. There's a little device. There's actually two different models. The first one is called let's make sure I get this right here. The s2e14My, which isn't quite as recommended as the Rocket 1541 or Rocket port, which plugs in to the drive, and then using open source library called CBM, you can interface this and use it, like, say, with a Macintosh to read and write discs for the Commodore 64. I was going to get that. That's like $39. Again, it's a future project. But what I might want to do is consider getting a copy of 64 HDD. I did see it confirmed they're still around for download. The company is still in production making the software, and now they're making other supportive tools for 64DD. The 64DD program is an MS-DOS program that will allow you to use your IBM MS-DOS sessions as a file system for the Commodore 64. I don't know how perfect it is. I never did try to deal with some of the Commodore ASCII characters. Might look kind of funky on that machine. I don't know how it deals with the foreign characters. But remember one thing I told you, yes, a couple days ago, is that Commodore, by its nature, made their computers device independent. So basically, the way I talk to a 1541 is the same way I talk to a 1571, which is the same way I would talk to a CMD, or a accelerator, or an FD 2000 third-party tape or hard drive, or for that matter, even a tape drive. The command set, it's just a matter of different device numbers. The tape drive, by the way, just so you know, is one. The The serial port is 2. Yes, you can technically load and save from the serial port. Don't ask me how it's done. I never really tried it, but I certainly do know that according to the manual for the machine, it is possible to do it. That's all I can tell you. I can tell you that somebody out there is going to probably prove it can be done. The parallel port, user port on this machine is certainly used for a lot of the Jiffy DOS stuff, which I don't really know much about, so I'm not going to go there because I don't know much about it. How does this compare to my modern computers? Well, let me just put it this way. I've got a Commodore emulator on my Mac now, so I can run Commodore games on my Mac. The only thing I don't like about the Mac is the keyboard matrix is different. I don't know where the run stop key is. I don't know where the Commodore key is. I don't know where any of these keys are. I certainly don't know where the restore key is, which is this key here on the VIC-20. I mean on the Vice emulator. Vice is one of the highly regarded emulators, but for those of you who don't know, if you press the run stop and hit restore, you can actually cause a warm interrupt, which is great for some kinds of things that you might need to do. That's really not the big deal. By the way, the reason I'm leaving this computer on for today is I want to see if I'm going to have any problems with this machine. I'm going to reset the screen. Remember that reset button on the side here? Yeah, this one. I got these taped up, covered with tape to prevent any nasty discharge because of static electricity. This dirty Q-tip was in cleaning the edge port connectors. Yeah. Actually, that one's not the dirtiest one. The dirtiest Q-tip is... I have no idea where it is right now. It was disgusting. And that's pretty bad. That's how dirty that's how dirty the cassette port and the user port was. And that was one of the reasons why I was getting very bad problems loading and saving tapes and things like that, was because the connector was so grunged up. Alright, now, I'm going to show you how you use the reset button. Here's the reset button. Okay? You can press it. I'm going to so you can see the screen now. Boop. There. Just reset the computer. All you do is to just press it, and boom, it resets the computer. It also, in some computers, will actually reset the floppy drive as well at the same time, but don't count on it. But you can always turn it off this way. This is how you can tell if you get a computer, Commodore 64 that somebody gives you, and you can't tell because no monitor, because you got a floppy drive. You want to know if it works? Just turn it on. If you see this drive light go on, and the green light will always be on. On the 1541, it is green is power and red is drive activity. On a 1571, it's the opposite. I don't know about the 1581, so I think the 1581 returned to the original Commodore 64 colors. But anyway, so that takes care of that. Now, let me just show you some real quick, and then I'm going to... Let me just turn this monitor off. I don't need to leave this on. Got the record? I got the right... Yeah, I do. I think I do. Oh, okay, there we go. Alright. Now, I haven't got everything set up yet for all the different stuff that I do around here. And obviously, I was looking for some stuff. I thought maybe I had some stuff in here, and I may have. I did find some stuff for another computer I have that I'm going to be doing a demo for. But for the time being, let me just show you some really cool hair. If you ever need to run a demo. Now, I'm not going to be editing this down. I'm just going to send this out raw. Some of you like those ways. Some of you don't like it that way. I don't care. I don't know what you want. I'm going to show you what I'm going to show you. If I go to the Commodore emulator folder I set up on my Mac here, you'll see all the different emulators that it comes with Vice. X64, X64 DTV, X64 SC, whatever that is, X128, which is the Commodore 128, CBM2, CBM 5X0, the PET, the Plus 4, and the VIC, which is the VIC-20. Now, I'm going to show you something here with this. I'm going to show you how the Vice one works for the 64. I just double click on it. Now, this is a Macintosh now, so this is going to be, see? It looks the same as the other computer does in the other part. And you could even get the ROMs for the fast load cartridge for this, and it will load and act in just like a Commodore 1541 with the extra fast load cartridge. And if you had Jiffy DOS, I guess it'll do the same thing. I don't know. Anyway, so that's the point. That's how it all works, and yeah, it's kind of cool. Yeah, it's definitely cool. It definitely is cool. So the point is that that's how we can do things with the emulators, and the device also lets me do other things too. Like, for example, I can play PAL games, NTSC games. It doesn't matter. PAL G games. Whatever. Whereas the NTSC Commodore 64 is basically stuck just playing NTSC stuff. I might one day go get a European PAL Power Commodore 64, but the problem is that it uses lane voltage for the sync rate, so we might have trouble doing that unless I want to come up with an artificial sync generator to satisfy the VIC chip. But anyway, regardless, I just want to let you know I really thank you very much for watching the videos, and I hope that you will continue to watch them here on both my channel, which is, Michelle Marie Delaney, and of course Lumi's channel, which is Lumi Finistra, and of course Welcome to My World, which is the Cable 13 channel. This is going on Cable 13 probably because it kind of goes a great little bookend with another video topic that I might have to splice this in with other videos. But for right now, I'm just going to upload this raw just so that you people up there, kind of like a vlog. I haven't done a vlog lately anyway, so I just want to let you know what I'm doing. And by the way, yes, I'm going to be demonstrating a few more computers in the future. So it's not just that Commodore 64 we're going to be demoing in the near future. We're going to be demoing the Tandy Model 102, which I do have, and also a really rare, hard to find Data General DG1. Data General DG1 was a computer that was one of the first laptops on the market that used a 720 3.5-inch floppy disk, and I happen to have one, and I'm going to demo that for you in a few days. Right now, I'm just trying to finish fixing up this video and get it out the door. So for now, I'll talk to you soon. Don't forget to share what you like or dislike. Share with your friends and enemies. Subscribe if you've not already done so. And, just keep watching because there's a lot more out there. I promise you. Okay? Bye-bye. Hi guys, this is Michelle Marie Delaney. I'm looking for a replacement Commodore 64 computer because the Commodore 64 computer I have, as I mentioned in the video, the sound chip is broken. And it's going to cost me like $49 to $50 to replace the chip. And it's hard to find because it's a Commodore 64C. It uses a really weird chip. It's instead of the standard chip from the Commodore 64. If you got a working Commodore 64 in good condition, it doesn't look like like somebody ran over it with a truck, let me know, okay? You can email me at bichela3@gmail.com. As you can see in the picture above, it was a very common computer. A lot of people had them. And if you have that, along with even all the other stuff that comes with it, disk drives, printers, software, I'll take it all. Just let me know, okay? Thank you very much. Hey, did you know there's a lot more going on right now at our websites? Are you watching all 4 of them? If not, check them out. There's a list right here. We got 3 YouTube channels and 1 audio-only channel for your enjoyment. So come on, dig in and see all the stuff we do here at the North American Snow Queen Palace.